And welcome into Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture. And I'm live, but it's not going to be a very long episode today. Going to be rather quick, hopefully, 10, 15 minutes, just long enough to answer questions and to have some fun here. Folks, I just saw the new Naked Gun movie. My out of the reaction from the movie theater is cheesy fun. So this movie, no spoilers. It's very cheesy, just like the other Naked Gun movies. But I had a good time. I thought it was good. I would probably rate this about maybe 6.5 out of 10. It's not meant to be the greatest movie since sliced bread, but it's not meant to be a bad movie either. It's a lot of cheesy, fun humor. Let me break it down for you. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I will say that, this movie is worth seeing. If you like the Naked Gun franchise and you like that style of comedy, it fits right in. It really is a tip of the hat to the other Naked Gun movies with its style of humor. I will say that, Pamela Anderson does a great job, and so does Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson did a wonderful job of portraying Frank Drebin Jr. And yeah, there is a tribute to Frank Drebin Sr. in it, which is really good. Now, the previews that you see are funny, and they aren't the funniest parts of the movie. They're like the first 5 minutes of the movie, which is good because there's a lot more to it than just those scenes. But it'll make you laugh a little bit. Like I said, it's not like the greatest comedy of all time. It's not the worst movie. It's your cheesy, fun summer movie, and I'll take it. It's better than some of the other stuff that I've seen. So, folks, let me kind of break it down for you. The plot, it's derived from all your fun other types of movies. You see, it takes little cheesy stuff from other stuff. So your plot is going to be similar to another couple of movies that you probably already are familiar with. There are a lot of little nods to other crime type movies. The other good thing about this movie that makes it unique, maybe a little bit different than the other Police Squad Naked Gun movies, is that it's kind of a film noir. And the film noir style is very evident in this movie. If you watch it, you will notice scenes and a little hints and little ties to other film noir movies that you'll catch if you know that genre. A lot of really cool nods. I sat there, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's to that movie, and that's to that movie, and that's to that movie. And I'm not going to give them away because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but yeah, it really does do a good job of that. The sarcastic slapstick humor is there. Like Naked Gun will take a saying or a phrase, like have a seat, and somebody takes the chair, stuff like that. That's taken literally. There's a lot of that type of humor in this movie, which is great if you like that cheesy type of humor. The story's good. The music's good. There is a odd, weird love scene in there that's just hilarious. There's some other crude, funny humor that I think if you like the Naked Gun movies, you'll find funny. But overall, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I didn't really have high expectations for this movie. I just went in, make me laugh. That was pretty much my take on it. Now, I will say some of the previews for some of the stuff that we got coming up didn't excite me, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. But this movie is a fun summer comedy movie. If you like the Naked Gun movies, definitely check it out. I know Fandango is running a special. If you buy a ticket to this movie through Fandango, and you And they'll give you the right to buy in your fandango.com thing, the right to watch the original Naked Gun movie from 1988. And then when this movie comes out to streaming, this new movie will be for you on your Fandango streaming, which is an interesting ad, but I don't know. It's not like I don't know if I would own this movie. Would I sit down and watch it if it came on cable? Yeah, I'd watch probably parts of it. Um, but yeah, it does the trick. I was pleasantly surprised that Pamela Henderson did such a good job acting. I mean, she's only been in like Barbed Wire and a couple other movies, and of course, we know her from Playboy and other types of stuff from back in the day. And she does a great job, and she looks really good. I mean, real surprised, but yeah. Hey, Sigvaldus, glad you're here. Yep, nice to hear. There's a good, honest comedy amongst the girl we've been getting. Yeah, it's cheesy fun, and it's not. It's got a little bit of bathroom humor, but not like to the point where some of these other comedies go. It's more like the type of humor from your classic Naked Gun movies, the Zucker brothers type of movies. Also, there are a lot of interesting lines that are thrown in there. There's some stuff from Star Trek, two Star Trek movies that are thrown in there. A couple of others that are interesting. But it was just fun, and it's not a long movie. It's like an hour and a half, and it moves really fast. I mean, the pacing's really good in this movie. It's not long and drawn out, so it moves at the pace of a good comedy, and a good comedy should move at. It has a couple of moments where you're just like, okay, that's a little bit too much, but overall, I think it's just solid. There are some subtle fun references to the first one. You have to catch them though. So, like there's one scene in a club, and if you look over and see it, you'll recognize what I'm talking about, and it'll make you laugh out loud. So look for subtle references to the first one, and if you know the line and you know that the between Frank and uh, you know his girl, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll see that reference. Uh, there really isn't. There are pictures of people from the original ones in it. There's a slight cameo, but nothing really from any of the original Naked Gun movies in this movie. You do have a lot of pictures showing that and showing how they're related, and that kind of stuff. Yes, 90 minutes used to be the normal before epic sagas were required every movie to be 3+ hours. Exactly. Uh, you know, I was more annoyed by some of the previews were kind of cringe of what I saw, but like I said, we'll get to that later. But this movie was just fun. So everything that you've seen in the previews is the first 5 minutes. It gets into the story. You have, your sarcastic slapstick humor, and I think Liam Nielsen's a good guy to replace Leslie Nielsen. If you remember, the whole gag about Police Squad and Naked Gun movies was Leslie Nielsen used to be a very serious actor. He never really did comedies until then. And finally, actually, an Airplane, I think, kind of launched all of that, where he was in a comedy. And then from there, he relaunched his career in comedies. And I think it fits because Liam Nielsen, with the Taken movies and some other stuff that he's been in, where he's been a very serious action star, you can take that and use it in a comedy sense. And so it's great. Pamela Anderson was in Barbed Wire, and there is a nod to that. If you know Barbed Wire, there is a slight nod to that movie if you catch it. It's pretty fun. It's very slight, but hey, it works. Yes, Leslie Nielsen was superb in those comedies. Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun, cheesy humor. You've got the typical kind of cop movies type stuff, and then typical slapstick humor. And there are a lot of fun tropes that you see in this movie. A little bit of the interrogation type stuff that you find in this movie. They interrogate the bad guy. All kinds of that stuff that you'll see that'll make it fun. I mean, the thing about it is, just when you think it's gonna get, serious or goofy, then you get another thing that makes it funny. I would say the middle of the part of the movie with the love scene and one of my favorite songs was funny, creepy, scary, just hilarious. I don't want to spoil it for you, but you sit there and you're like, okay, this is what is going on here? Why did they do that? And I can't tell you anymore because if I do, it'll spoil it. It's strange, funny. You do have some Seth MacFarlane type humor in this, which is to be expected, but most of the humor that I found was more the Zucker type humor, more of that type style, which I think is great. Um, and all I'll say about this is watch for the owl. The owl is great. I will say the other thing is that coffee is pretty funny. The other thing at the end, the ending credits stay for the first part of the ending credits until the main credits come on, because there's some fun stuff there, and there's a really big tie to the original Police Squad show and the Naked Gun movies at the very end. That is funny, but once it gets to the regular credits, I don't think there's anything after that. So it's fun. But guys, it's just a summer fun movie. It's one that I think you can, buy a matinee ticket to go see, have some popcorn, have some laughs, and then come out of the theater feeling like you just had fun. Um, there's slight real world stuff, but nothing too crazy. I mean, if you know the plot of one movie in particular, then you'll know that they kind of just stole that villainous plot from that one movie. So that's really what it is. But other than that, there's a lot of stuff here that's fun and cheesy, and it's just a good time. It's not supposed to be anything more than that. I think this comedy, and I'm going to do a video about Happy Gilmore 2, are some surprising, good comedy, fun humor that we're missing from the 80s and 90s that we need today. And both of them are by no means perfect movies. They're not meant to be. It's just fun. If you like The Naked Gun, if you like that type of humor, you'll like this. If you don't like that type of humor, then this movie's not for you. And folks, that's why it's like a 6.5. It's not supposed to be the greatest movie of all time. It's just supposed to be fun. And that's exactly what it does. And that's what we're missing today. Pop culture's gotten too serious. It's gotten too woke. We've gotten too much into this need to tell you what our morals are kind of thing. It's too much of this this kind of branding where they have to have a social political message in every ounce of things that we see, and there's none of that in this movie. Not at all. It's far from that. So I really enjoyed it. Beyond the little tribute to the previous actors showing OJ was acknowledged. Beyond that, that might be a spoiler, but was curious. Not really, honestly. That's the only nod to OJ really in the movie. There's a slight one later on, but it's so cheesy. You don't really recognize it necessarily as OJ. You recognize it as something even cheesier. So, but not really, not a whole lot to OJ. There's just that and the guy going, you don't really see that actor in the rest of the movie though, but it's mainly Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson and then the villain. And if you catch his accent, it's another movie that is a film noir that you'll recognize. But the movie, like The Naked Gun, has Frank Drebin narrating a lot of it, and sort of like your classic film noir, and that's fun and funny as well. And there are some great scenes with that. Just a lot of good cheesy humor. Yeah, guys. I mean, the OJ Simpson joke is where it is. There's a slight nod to to OJ at one other time, but it's barely noticeable, and it's don't worry about that. I would just go into this with just expect to laugh. That's all I would say. Just laugh. Um, there's not really any other thing than that. I mean, yeah, I heard Pam actually shown in her role this movie, someone that doesn't expect much out of her. I'm glad she could. Yeah, she shined. She was good. She played the part, and she has some funny moments, and she does a good job. I thought she was great. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily expect that about out of Pamela Anderson, but really, she did a good job. And there's a rumor I read something on Fox that she and Liam Nielsen might be dating. I have no idea if that's true. I don't get into the tabloid stuff. I just saw it briefly in our article. I thought, huh, that's interesting. Maybe that's just movie stuff. I don't know. You guys can talk about that for sure. But no, she does a good job, and I'm glad she got a chance to shine in this movie. I hope there's a sequel because I think there's potential for it, and I think she'd be great. She and Liam Nielsen are good together, and I think they do a great job in this movie. Pamela Anderson, you had the Barbed Wire movie, but you had all her stuff in her early in her life that we know about, and really, I mean, honestly, she kind of turned her life around for her kids and her family, and she really shines in this. I thought she did a great job, and she looks gorgeous. I don't know how old she is now, but man, she looked really, really hot. And, I thought it was great. There's a fun club scene with her in it where she's doing her thing, and it's a lot of fun. It's hilarious. But yeah, guys, I would say, go see this if you want to laugh, if you just want a fun summer movie. Get your popcorn out, get in your seat, and just laugh, just have fun. And that's what we miss today. I mean, that's what I miss about everything that we had back in the day. We had these screwball comedies that, maybe they weren't the best movie of all time out there. Maybe they weren't, like your nines or tens, but they were just fun to just go and just laugh and have a good time. And that's what I did. I had a good time. So, yeah, Barbed Wire was a movie I walked out of the theater back then. Yeah, Sid Volson, that movie wasn't very good. There's a slight reference to it. It's very slight, and you'll pick it up. SP4H, so it wasn't bad. Trailers weren't impressing me very much. All the trailers come from the first 5 minutes of the movie. The rest of it, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny. So I would say the biggest things to look out for are Coffee and Owl are two of the things, and I'm not going to say any more. Coffee and Owl. But if you like film noir, you will catch a lot of the references to film noir movies. Hey, Swift -1, SP4H, Sig Valdison. Thank you guys for jumping in. Glad you're here. Yeah, so I rate it between a 6 and a 6.5. Just a fun, cheesy movie. That's my initial reaction. It's not the greatest movie of all time. It does live up and is on par with your other 3 Naked Gun movies. It does have a lot of the same style of humor. It does have a few references. One of them, when he gets in the club, one of the very first things that you see is where the reference is. Just look for it and you'll laugh. I was the only one in the theater that caught it, and I laughed out loud. It was cool, but it was entertaining. And yeah, Sig Valdison, very true. Movies used to be for entertainment purposes, the most part, before it became means to preach to the peasants. Yes, exactly. I mean, this film's not preachy. You may notice similarities between villains or whatever they want to do with villains. I don't know. They don't make that big deal of it. They don't try and make it political at all. And there's not woke crap on with. It's on par with the other ones. I would say the Naked Gun 1 and 2 are way better than this one. But, those films are like, this is like a 6 to 6.5. And those films were like a 7.5 to almost an 8, just because they were groundbreaking. 33 and a Third, I didn't think was that great, but still funny. So this is pretty much on par with those. They're a little bit ahead of it, but it's the same type of comedy humor. and it's the same type of fun. I had fun, and you have a couple of the same jokes. So, but yeah, guys, any other questions? I'm happy to talk about everything except spoilers. I'm not going to get into too much spoilers, but go ahead if you got any questions. I'm all ears. But yeah, I overall I had fun. It's like a 6.5 out of 10. Your cheesy fun movie. You know, and Pamela Anderson really does do well. So yeah, Sig Volleson, yeah, go see it next week, or if you got time this week. I mean, the problem with it is like you couldn't see it in the bigger theater because they're still showing that crappy Fantastic Four movie in the big screen theaters. But I still went to a good theater and I saw it, and I just had fun, and a lot of people were laughing and just having a good time. I think the worst part of it was some of the trailers were kind of shocking, kind of like, oh, what the heck? Some of the comedy is, I would say, probably not for young children, just because there's a couple of innuendo jokes. But I would say for kids, 12 to 13 and up, they think it was funny. Yeah, there was a kid that was a teenager that was sitting near me that was laughing at it. So, but yeah, it's cheesy fun humor, and they make fun of Mission Impossible. They make fun of a bunch of stuff. Hey, Comic Relief Crusader, how are you? Yep, I'll be on that young kid stage. Yeah. So, yeah, yeah. So cheesy fun humor, about a 6.5 out of 10 for the Naked Gun. I mean, guys, honestly, I went in with just make me laugh, and that's the way you should do. No, I wouldn't say it's bad. I would say it's so my scale is 1 to 3 is a bad, horrible movie. 4 is way too cheesy, which this one didn't fall there. 5 is cheesy. 6 is an okay movie. 7's a good movie. 8's a great movie. 9's an excellent movie. 10's an outstanding movie. This one's about a 6.5. It's with the screwball comedy, they're hard to make them 7s or 8s, just because there's so much slapstick humor, and if you try and take it a scene in a serious tone, you're gonna sit there and go, oh. But this one, it's fun, cheesy humor, and if you like film noir, it has a lot of nods to that. It has some Star Trek lines and nods. It has some nods to the first film, some of which are in that first 5 minutes, but there are a couple other ones. Specifically, guys, when you see the scene where they go to the club, look at the very first thing that they show you in the club. It'll make you laugh if you remember the first movie. Yeah, Wes Kegel, I mean, I would say, if you want to laugh, see it in the movie theater. Otherwise, go rent it or see it when it comes on streaming. It's funny, cheesy fun. Sig Valdison says, I heard another YouTuber personally said they laughed from start to finish, and your review adds to it being a fun time to escape for 90 minutes. Yeah, it's 90 minutes of cheesy fun. I mean, if you like the first 3 Naked Gun movies, this is a very much a hat tip to them. It's not the same plot line as any of those movies. Different plot line, which is good. I'm glad they're doing something different. And it has that type of slapstick humor that the Zuckers were famous for in those movies. And that's a great thing. And that's what this movie does. And, Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson are good in it. And I had a lot of fun. It was cheesy fun. Now, it's like I said, it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's not supposed to be, If you go in this movie and just say, hey, make me laugh and forget about all the crazy crap in the world for a while, mission accomplished. That's what it does. And that's all I would ask a movie like this to do. I'm not expecting it to be the greatest thing from sliced bread. Since sliced bread. I'm expecting it to be non-woke, funny humor that makes me laugh out loud and have a good time. And that's what this did. So, yeah. So, any other questions or anything else? I can't give it like a 7 or 8 because it's cheesy. It's cheesy as all get out, and the cheesiness just keeps coming. But it's fun cheesy. It's not like a 4 where it's too much cheesy. It's in the 6 range where it's cheesy fun. Hey, I had a good time. Type of movie. You know, it's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be fun, and that's what this is. It's fun. It's simply a fun movie. But anything else, guys? Comic Relief Crusader, West Cagle, Sigvaldison. Thank you all for being in here. SP4H. I wrenched you, by the way. Thank you for being in here. So, is it better than the Leslie Nielsen ones? I think it's better than 33 and a third. It's hard to top Naked Gun 1 and 2. Naked Gun 1 and 2 are really good. The first one's just a classic. The second one, I think, adds to that humor. The third one was kind of off for me, and I think this one's a little bit better than the third one. But I thought it was fun, So my blueness has returned. No, wait, it hasn't. Yep. I mean, I hope I covered everything without really spoiling it. I don't want to spoil this movie for you because it's a lot of fun. And there are some slight nods. And like, folks, if you know film noir, you're going to get some of the jokes. Now, the main villain, he does okay, but his voice, first of all, notice his voice. I think he comes out of it slightly in parts of it, but his voice, he's trying to do the voice of another villain in another film noir film. If you catch it, you'll know what I mean. There's some other film noir stuff, like, going into a bar or a club type of music, other types of stuff that you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, oh, I recognize that from that movie. So, and that's Seth MacFarlane's style where he references all kinds of other movies. And he has some lines that are in the moment lines that are from Star Trek and other types of movies that you're going to recognize and you're going to laugh out loud. So, oh, wow. So, for reals, even DC had to rewatch me after the screen name business from a month ago. Oh, what happened? Oh my gosh. So, are you talking about your avatar? Oh, wow. Congratulations, Comic Relief Crusader. Tomorrow is your 4th YouTube anniversary. That's awesome. Fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Cool. Are you going to do anything to celebrate? By the way, Comic Relief Crusader, my Menasor parts and Dead End for Fans Tour should be arriving this week, along with my X Transbots figure as well. If you want to talk Transformers, I'm actually off all this week, so hit me up. But anyway, guys, I mean, so if you're just joining us, had a lot of fun at this movie. It's fun, cheesy humor, no woke stuff or political stuff. A lot of good nods to film noir and some other stuff. So, time to give something away tomorrow on my channel, dude. That's cool. All right, guys, tune in to Comic Relief Crusader for what he's going to give away. SP4H. No, I ended up merging a bunch of sub YouTube channels I didn't even know I had and lost my way. My wrench status everywhere. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So, oh gosh. Well, I'm glad I wrenched you when I did. I wrenched you the other day. So, oh, sweet. Comic Crusader is working on another combiner. Cool. All right. Well, we'll have to talk Transformers at some point and find out. It's gray, not blue. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, this thing was funny. I was more concerned about the previews. Some of the previews hard to be concerned. I mean, I will say this: it's a lot of remakes, unfortunately, and remakes. They're remaking War of the Roses. and that's interesting. Wait, test. Okay, what's going on? Nope, wrench. No wrench. What? I thought I wrenched you. Okay, hang on. All right, hang on. No wrench. I'll add USB 4H. I thought I did, but okay. So that sucks that you've lost all your wrench stratus. Oh, got a couple of weeks back. Okay, all right. Then I need to re-wrench you, and I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll get you set up for tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow's stream, by the way, 5:30. We're covering the Pacific. Not sure if Marty's going to be able to join us. I know he had some other stuff that was going on, but we'll see. Sigvaldason, I'm wary of remakes like Harry Potter. Let me go watch original movies unless they can magically capture more of the books into a remake. There's no need to redo the movie. Yeah. So, okay. So with this movie, I wouldn't say it's a remake because it ties to the first ones in the sense that it's his son, which was part of the part of the previews anyway. So it's not really spoiler. So it's kind of a continuation. This is more of a continuation. War of the Roses has a British cast and Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, it looks okay, but you're still taking a movie and doing something different with it, and are doing something the same along the same lines with it. So I just was like, okay, what are we doing here? The Harry Potter stuff, I don't know, guys. Um, some of the casting looks right, but at the same time, I'm like, why are you retelling Harry Potter? What I'd rather see from Harry Potter, and we discussed this on my pop culture show a few weeks ago, is that I think Harry Potter would be better served if you did either one of two things. You went back and did Lily and James and their story, where you have a couple of snippets of it, but do the whole story of them growing up and going through Hogwarts and falling in love that lead to the modern Harry Potter movies. That would be good. Or you take the next generation of Harry Potter kids and you create something new. Other than the Cursed Child, which I think was not very well written. So I think either one of those would be a good idea. I just don't think, I think it's way too soon to redo uh, Harry Potter stuff. So, you know, but anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Sigvaldason. They don't need to capture more of the books. I mean, I thought the books were well captured in the movies. Now, I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get more of a big battle in six, and I didn't get the investigator in the sixth book, but I thought they captured the seventh book in those two movies really well. I thought they captured the fourth book and the third book really well in the movies and the first and second books. The fifth book and the fifth movie, I think, were really well. I kind of like the movie a little bit better than the book, only because the fifth book, Order of Phoenix, was a good book. Don't get me wrong, but there are parts of that book that kind of dragged, especially with Harry going through the teenage angst, and you're reading chapters where he's just angry and an angry teenager, and that kind of took me out of the book for a while. It was harder to read, but I thought they did a really good job of it in the movie. That'd be cool if it was written to see the next generation. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. What do you do with the next generation? How do you come up with a villain or come up with an idea? Which I think is cool. I think it's interesting. I think what you needed to get beyond is how do you do it um, without using the same tropes that you had in the first Harry Potter. So, for instance, I don't know if you want to keep going the rivalry between houses as the main focus against a bad guy. You don't necessarily need to make a bad guy from one of the Hogwarts houses. You can make an external threat from maybe another country or another school or another type of magical person, which would be interesting. So, Yeah, and I would love to see J.K. Rowling tell us about that or tell that story. You know, um, but yeah, I mean, the other thing about it is a lot of people didn't like the race swap with Snape, and guys, what are you going to do when it comes to those flashbacks where he's hung up on a tree? Are you going to make it to where it's real world type stuff? I mean, the books already talk about racism in their own way. I don't know that we need to bring real world racism because she already addresses that type of stuff within the confines of her world and her novels. And it's all bad, but I don't know how you're going to play that when the stuff that happens to Snape that we see flashbacks of because they're a key part of the story. So I don't know. We'll see. But anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else about Naked Gun? Like I said, folks, it's a cheesy, fun movie with nods to the first one. You know, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to be entertained too. Yeah, and this movie, The Naked Gun, basically, you're sitting there and you're entertained. Honestly, um, the difference in this one is, Fantastic Four, when it got to a few scenes, it just kind of threw the woke stuff in my face and it took me completely out of it. This one made me laugh throughout it. There wasn't any kind of woke messaging or anything in it that made me go, oh, good gosh. No, there were moments that were, oh my gosh, that's a little bit too cheesy humor, but then it brought it back. But it was fun, funny stuff. Um, and the kind of stuff that you would expect from this type of movie. And I think, Seth MacFarlane, um, I think he understood it going in writing this and getting it done. So we'll see. I know Comic Crusader said he'd be back. Hopefully, he comes back before we end here. But overall, it's a fun, cheesy movie. Probably a 6.5, which is kind of right in line for that kind of comedy, guys. On my scale, it's just you can't with those type of movies. You can't take them seriously. You have to have fun. There are some classic ones that are hard to touch, which have to go there. I mean, you're talking about like Airplane. Airplane's almost untouchable. Airplane 2 is cheesy fun, but it's not like the first one. The Naked Gun, the first one, and the second one. I think the second one just does the cheesy humor just as well as the first one. But the third one wasn't as good. This movie, I think, is better than Naked Gun 33 and a third. So, yeah, I mean, go see it if you just get ready to laugh. It's just fun humor, and it's 90 minutes. 90 minutes of fun. And at no point was I thinking about the real world or anything like that. So, and it has nods at a couple of other you know both spy cop movies and film noir movies. you know so I would also say that this movie and Happy Gilmore are kind of the surprise fun movies of the summer. I thought Superman was good. It has its difficulties. It's better than Fantastic Four, but you know, but yeah, I'd give it a shot. I think it's cheesy fun humor, but cool. All right, folks. Well, I thank you guys for being here. Please like, share, leave comments on this afterwards. Also, I provided links on this to my other reviews of Fantastic Four and Superman. Coming up tomorrow, Heather and I are going to go over the Pacific episode 2. Hopefully, Marty will be able to make it to that stream and give us a historian's viewpoint of what happened in that episode. That episode is actually really good. I really enjoyed it. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. And then coming up, I'm going to do videos for Happy Gilmore 2. Spoiler alert, I liked it, and I'll talk about that. I'll give a spoiler-free review of that. And then I'm also going to give a Billy Joel review because the biopic parts 1 and 2, and so it goes, came out on HBO Max, and I watched both of them, and I thought they were fairly good. And I'll talk about them. I'll tell you a little bit about them, and I'll tell you, what you should watch for in that, especially if you're a Billy Joel fan. But if you like biographies and if you like interesting stuff about people's lives, go for it. Happy Gilmore 2 is on Netflix. So go to Netflix and check it out. Hey, Matt Tuing. Glad you're here. Glad you could show up. Hey, Naked Gun 2025 is a funny, cheesy movie. So, I would say it's in line with the other Naked Gun movies. I would say that this one ranks out of the 4 Naked Gun movies. It's probably the third because the first 2 are just too hard to touch. But it's better than the third one, in my opinion. Happy Gilmore 2 was good, and I'm going to do a video about that. Also got the Billy Joel video for parts 1 and 2 of his life. And then we're going to have a live stream coming up. Somehow I had some videos go viral, and I'm so thankful that I've got 10,000 subscribers around the world. So if you're around the world and you're subscribed, thank you so much for signing up. I know that, my channel has had some interesting stuff. I hope it's entertaining and interesting to you guys. I want to try and do more of live reactions like this, but I also want to do pop culture from different perspectives. So that's why I love the history aspect, where we're doing pop culture from a historical World War II perspective. We're going to get into some Westerns that are fun and historical as well. And then we'll continue with our music segments as well. And we'll talk about, modern pop culture as well. And I want to kind of get a breadth of all that every month in my show, so that you get a little bit of everything that you might like. If you love war movies and World War II type stuff, if you love Westerns and the Western genres, I got stuff for that. And then, music, and then modern pop culture. So gonna throw a mixed bag out there, and that's kind of gonna be my channel going forward. So should be pretty cool. Anyway, folks, getting ready to leave. Look for my videos. They're coming out this week. I actually have vacation all this week, so I'll be able to get to and do some of these videos, and then I'll announce when I've got a 10,000 subscriber celebration coming up, and I'll tell you when that is. Also, tomorrow, the Pacific episode 2, check that out. Also, folks, if you love Band of Brothers, I put all our Band of Brothers reviews, including my trip with all the pictures, into one, basically one thing that you can click on and watch all the episodes. So check that out as well. Folks, I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share the stream, and let me know. And then also, hey, subscribe to Comic Relief Crusader. He's a great guy. He just had his YouTube anniversary tomorrow. Tomorrow's his YouTube anniversary. He does a lot of great stuff. Folks, if you love Transformers, he's your man. He's got the inside scoop on a company that produces amazing Transformers. And he also does some great pop culture stuff. Subscribe and like Comic Relief Crusader. He's an amazing guy, and I can't appreciate him more. He's helped me out with a lot of other stuff. He's a great guy. And yes, message me. I'll be happy to try and join some of your streams this week. If you're having them, Comic Relief Crusader, I'd love to be on your shows. You are the man. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to play an outro, and then we'll be out. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.